There are 7 billion people living in the world today, and you are one of them.
We are all connected to the world and its people.
There are people living in the world who don't have access to proper nutrition or clean water.
Millions of people are living in poverty today.
Those who live in poverty don't have access to health care.
Over 3 billion people are living in poverty today. That is 43% of our world. 30 million of those people are living in absolute poverty.
21 to 30 million people in the world are slaves, and they cost around $9 to buy one. In 1850, it cost around $40,000 to buy a slave.
In the world today, there are nearly 800 million people who lack access to clean water. Every 19 seconds, a child dies because of a paucity of water. Women spend 200 hours a day collecting water because they do not have access to any running water.
8% of the people in poverty spend most of their income on food. 1.2 billion people make less than $1.25 per day. 2/3 of them live in rural countries.
Nearly 1 billion people live without clean drinking water. It's happening all over the world, especially in developing areas of sub-Saharan Africa, Southeast Asia, and Latin America. It's a water crisis because it starts with water. But water affects everything. Education, health, poverty, and especially women and children. Let's look at a family caught in the water crisis. It's likely they live on less than $1 a day. When they're thirsty, they can't just turn on the faucet for a nice cold glass of water. They don't have a faucet. Instead, the women and children go off to collect water. Many walk up to 3 hours a day to the nearest swamp, pond, or river to gather water that's been sitting out in the open, exposed to all kinds of germs. Time spent gathering water is time they can't spend learning to read, write, earn an income, or take care of their family. Some women in sub-Saharan Africa spend more time collecting water than any other activity they do in the day. And the walk isn't just hard, it's dangerous. The women are alone and burdened with 40 pounds of water. Many get hurt. Sometimes they're even attacked. When they make it home, the little water they've collected isn't clean. Some families know their water is contaminated with germs that cause diarrhea, dehydration, even death. But what choice do they have? Kids, especially babies, are affected most by these germs. About every 19 seconds, a mother loses one of her children to a water-related illness. And each day, almost 1 billion people are living this way. Until they get a little help. The water crisis is solvable. There are solutions. Some are brand new and innovative, like water filtration systems. Some are age-old, like drilled or hand-dug wells. These solutions bring clean water much closer to the people who need it. A safe water project near a village restores hours each day to a person's life. This time, it's opportunity. It's freedom to go to school and get an education, to work or start a business, to raise a family. Africa alone could save 40 billion hours each year. That's the entire annual workforce of France. Clean water means less disease. That's less money spent on medicine, which means more money for books and school uniforms. And if the water project is built near a school, it can increase attendance, especially among young girls. The water crisis is vast, but we can solve it. Just $20 can provide one person with access to a clean water project in their village. And this will mean more than clean water. Because water changes everything. Join us.
Water plays a crucial role in the lives of those living in poverty, in both a negative and positive way.
People don't know that emergency responders only get to 8% of hunger victims. The other 92% of the people that the emergency responders don't help are the 7 million that die a year from hunger. More than 7 million people are living with HIV and AIDS, and they don't have access to treatment. Most of these people are women. Women are scared to get access to treatment because they're worried about being abused or harassed. Women die every 2 minutes from childbirth.
Sadly, just about 6.6 million children die before they can reach the age of 5 because they lack the proper nutrition to carry out the bodily functions. Malnutrition causes childhood cancer.
0.8% of our economy dollars is spent on foreign aid each year. That will help 10 billion people in the world 2045.
Well, people perceive that the U.S. spends a lot on foreign aid. That if the U.S. budget were $1, a quarter of it is spent on foreign aid. But that's not true. It's less than a penny. It's 0.8% of the federal budget. You can't even cut a coin small enough to represent how much money is spent on foreign aid. It's not that much. Now, this idea that wars or natural disasters, tsunamis, earthquakes kill most of the people, that's wrong. It pales, it's dwarfed by the number of people killed by preventable diseases. This sector represents the number of kids 5 years old and younger that die every year from injuries. This represents the number of kids 5 years old and younger that die every year from non-communicable diseases, cancer, things you inherit. But all of this, most of the circle, is kids dying, 5 years old or younger, dying of communicable, preventable diseases. This is where we can change the world. People think that we've been sending money to Africa for decades and nothing's improved. Things are as bad as they ever were. Well, that's a myth when you can show statistically that child mortality's gone down over the last couple decades by a factor of 2, been cut in half. Those are the data. We have a real opportunity to leave the world better than we found it, to dispel these myths and move on to improve the quality of life of people everywhere. So let's prevent the diseases. Let's address a preventable disaster.
To make the world a better place, people need to be informed and take action.
There are many ways people can help with poverty.
We can help by buying consciously and supporting fair trade.
That will help those people living in poverty get back on their feet.
Clean water will help the lives of people living in poverty. It will help because it will decrease and keep the lives of those living in poverty healthy.
Food is also an important part of staying healthy. It helps because without food, it could cause malnutrition.
So in conclusion, third world countries may be in peril, but it is up to us to make the change we want to see in the world.
You
You
are one of 7 billion people in the world and can make a difference.